This here is the Mexico City subway during rush hour. And this here is me in the subway trying to document it. And wait for it, right now I'm just setting up my camera for my first photograph in 3, 2, 1. This photograph came out much better than I expected. My name is Frederick, I'm a photographer, and this video is brought to you by Capture One. Before I go into how I took this photograph, I want to give you guys a little bit of context of why I selected this exact place for the photo shoot. This station is called Pantitlán. It's the busiest subway station in Mexico, and it has been well documented in clips like the one you're seeing right now. Or in this video, where a girl yells something from afar in the midst of all this chaos, and a guy promptly responds yelling something witty back, followed by the whole station burst out in laughter. This is quintessential Mexico, the chaotic everyday situations, and the Mexican people finding a way to laugh it off. Here I am, on my way into the subway. It's early, and before I go into the midst of all the chaos, I wanted to do like a test shot before. And this is me putting down my tripod, setting my camera settings right, and pressing click. On my way to this subway station, I wasn't really sure what to expect after watching these viral videos of the chaos, so I was kind of mentally prepared for some interesting times. It's not my first time in the Mexico City subway, and you loyal viewers out there know that I have done a crazy amount of street portraits here and a whole video in the Mexico City subway before. I just haven't been to this exact station. 5 million people use this subway daily, which is the equivalent of the country that I'm from. Shout out to Denmark. You see this officer right here? Okay, gracias. He kindly let me know that I was on my way to the wrong part of the subway station, the female only part. The reason why this section exists is for women to have a safer place for riding the public transportation and less threat of getting harassed. The reason why you see me walking around in there a little bit hesitant with my camera is because the security guards and the police in there, they don't share the same passion for photography as I do. So I have to keep a low profile, otherwise they'll tell you to get lost. As some of you guys may recognize, this style is heavily influenced by the Russian photographer Alexei Titarenko. What I find fascinating about Alexei's photographs is that we usually think of photography as a way of freezing a moment and capturing a split second in time. But that's not what Alexei does. You see, instead of freezing a moment in time, he opens up the camera shutter and lets time pass. Sometimes up to several minutes. I'm going to do a whole video breaking down Alexei's technique and explain how he takes his photographs. So make sure you subscribe and have notifications on. The camera I'm using for this video is the Fuji X-T3, the 35mm 1.4, and an excellent tripod. Links in the description. When you start up using this technique, not knowing much about it, you will take a lot of photos that don't work. I came home with around 600 photographs, but it took me only 10 minutes to edit because I used a feature in Capture One that is called Smart Adjustments. This feature that I'm about to show you is only available in Capture One 23, which has just been released right now. Here's how Smart Adjustments work. So once I'm happy with the photograph that I've edited, I copy these changes and I paste them across the entire album. So instead of copying the exposure settings as plenty of other editing tools do, it copies the look. So if I have a photograph that is lit a little brighter than another, then it takes that into account, which makes it a whole different world. In the description, you'll find a link to Capture One 23. Use my code and get 20% off your yearly subscription. When I used this technique, I was so excited about coming home and to see what kind of photos I actually got, because you don't really know when you take these long exposure photographs. And if you want to try this technique out yourself and you have any questions that I haven't answered in this video, just comment below and I'll try to answer as much as possible. But that's it for this video. Thank you to Capture One for sponsoring this video and for their excellent editing software. I'm so excited about making my whole video about how Alexi actually takes this photograph and go much more in depth with this technique. In my next video, I will do a breakdown about how I got my highest paid street photography gig and how you do commercial street photography. So stay tuned for that one. ¿Qué tacos tienes?
De cabeza de res, cabeza de borrego.
De res, por favor. Quiero uno.
Uno, claro. ¿Con verdura?
Sí, por favor, con todo.